Isn't AVM and AVA different timelines? I think Alan said that AVM and AVA are completely different universes. Maybe, I don't know, they are different timelines? They in different universes? AVA and AVM are not canon to each other. I'm pretty sure AVM. Okay, clearly this is something I need to talk about because this is a community split in two. Hi, my name's Extractor or King Boba Fett, and I talk about stuff on YouTube. And a few weeks ago, I uploaded this video right here, going over some anomalies that happened in the AVA universe. And this caused a bunch of debate in the comment section. Well, as you saw in the intro of this video, one of the biggest discussions was surrounding AVA and AVM being separate universes, or I guess separate timelines. Now you saw the title of this video. You know that I disagree with this. I believe that there's one universe, one full timeline, and that different episodes of AVA and AVM just happen at different times on the timeline. And I have a bunch of evidence to support this. Let's quickly get the first most popular two out of the way. That being Purple in AVA 11 and the entirety of AVM 0. But before that, I need to quickly mention that some characters are specifically in AVA and some are specifically in AVM. For the color gang, red, yellow, green, blue, and orange, aka the Second Coming, they're like the 5 main characters on Alan Becker's channel. They're in AVA, AVM, and a bunch of the other spin-off videos. So like I said, some characters specifically show up in AVM and some in AVA. Like the Chosen One, the Dark Lord, Victim, and Mitzi specifically show up in the AVA series, while characters like Purple and King Orange specifically show up in AVM, basically being characters for those specific series. But recently that changed. An AVA or AVM specific character appeared in the other series, and this happened in AVA 11. When Newgrounds was being attacked, we saw Purple and his family amongst the chaos. These characters are from AVM, and I feel like it's Alan's way of saying that yeah, this universe is all connected. But some people believe that this is just AVA referencing AVM, and I guess that Purple isn't like canon or something, and that they're still separate universes. So let's go into the second most popular example, that being AVM 0. This video right here. And yeah, if you haven't realized already, the two main characters of this video are AVA characters. Literally an AVM episode following two AVA characters the entire time. At the beginning, it shows when the Dark Lord and the Chosen One are like causing chaos throughout the internet and then stumbling into the world of Minecraft, meaning that this canonically happened in 2011, which is before the very first AVM, the one that was created first. This episode happens earlier in the timeline. It just feels like the cherry on top to say that yeah, these are the same timeline, that AVA and AVM do mix together. And there's a bunch of smaller evidence, like in AVM 30, King Orange sees a TV and on the TV is the Rocket Corp symbol, which we know is a company started by Victim and Mitzi. And of course they would even create TVs at one point. Not to mention AVM 30 literally came out before AVA Season 3 started. Alan had this planned out. And not to mention that this is an AVM video where we see the Outernet, which is a place that we see a bunch of in AVA. I mean, the stick figures are also on Alan's PC in both AVA and AVM. Like that's literally also the same setting. Whatever. Another piece of evidence, thanks to this comment right here for letting me know. In a short, we see Purple with some cherry blossoms, and he takes it to the Outernet where we see this poster in the background, which is literally from episode 9. Also in this short, we see the color gang playing with a plushie of King Orange and the Dark Lord. The list of evidence showing that this all happens in the same world can just continue. But there's one piece of evidence that really throws this separate timeline statement into question. But before I get into that, not only should you smash the subscribe button, I feel like a lot of people believe this theory that there are different timelines or different universes because they feel that AVA and AVM just don't work together, that they literally cannot fit on the same timeline. They'll just cause a bunch of anomalies, that they don't work. Well, I did a bunch of research and I did fit them all in one timeline, and I made a giant recap video right here showing the chronological order of these episodes taking place. But maybe you don't have 2 hours to spend, so this is the timeline right here. And as you can see, the videos can fit together like a puzzle piece. That AVA and AVM do happen at different times and don't like mess each other up. Okay, well, there is one anomaly, and that's why this video was created, where I talked about that in the first half. It was just a little date error. It didn't like completely destroy everything. Just one small date error where 2019 shouldn't be the case. By the way, when I made this video and talked about this timeline error, this wasn't like trying to call out Alan Becker and like destroy his universe or something. I absolutely love AVA, but when researching to make this full timeline recap video, I found this little anomaly and thought it'd be fun to talk about in the video. By the way, in the second half when I talked about gold, while I'm still up in the fence about when this happened, yeah, I do kind of see your guys' point. It most likely happened in 2021. Also, some people told me that the dates don't matter, that Alan doesn't care about them, which no, Alan's made sure to keep them consistent. Okay, I've been yapping a bunch. Let's finally get into the the evidence that I want to talk about. And this evidence comes from a certain video, that being the League of Legends video. If I had a nickel for every time the League of Legends video was surprisingly important to a topic of one of my videos, then I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice, right? You see, in this League of Legends video, a video outside of AVA and AVM, the stick gang go on a little adventure inside of League of Legends. I mean, duh. But we also see a character in this video, that being Purple, an AVM specific character. This is the first time we've seen one in another series, simply showing that like these characters aren't like trapped in their series. And not only is he here, but Blue and Green literally remember the events from AVM, and this affects the plot of the video. And for people that believe that there's just one timeline, that the stick gang go on silly adventures, this makes perfect sense. They met Purple in AVM, and then later in the timeline they have this League of Legends battle with Purple. But if you believe that there's 2 different timelines or 2 different universes, I feel like this throws a bunch of questions in the air. Like, this has to happen after AVM season 1, so like, do you have the AVM separate universe and the League of Legends video goes in it? What about all the other spin-off ones? Do they go in AVM or do they go in AVA? Do you like pick and choose? Are they not canon? Are all of those like their own different timelines? Like in the Alan Becker universe, we've got black holes, clones, and superpowers, but not once do they talk about timelines or like the multiverse. I don't know why so many people believe this. It makes so much more sense that the color gang are like on Alan's desktop and then like go on different adventures, some being in AVM, some being in AVA, sometimes there's this whole entire other thing. It makes a bunch more sense, and I don't understand why so many people believe that they're different timelines. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Maybe a long time ago, when Alan was just starting to make AVM after he made a few AVA episodes, maybe someone in the comment section asked Alan if this was going to be a separate series. And maybe Alan said yes. And maybe that's where all this confusion comes from. Well, them being separate series is still true to this day. AVA and AVM are different series, but they still happen at different times on the timeline. Just like how Iron Man and Captain America are 2 separate movies, but still happen in the MCU, in the same universe, in the same timeline. But maybe Alan Becker did say that they happened in different universes. People claim that Alan did say this. I've looked and couldn't find anything, but maybe Alan did say this a long time ago. But with his recent actions and showing just how much AVA and AVM combined and intertwined, I feel like Alan has nullified his old statement. If the statement even exists at all, I don't think it does. But yeah, I do think this League of Legends video does give good evidence that this all just happens in the same world. The stick figures go on different adventures. Well, you might point to the animation versus education videos and how they're like in the void and like don't really fit. I mean, as you can see on my timeline thingy, they're literally not there. Well, Alan was literally asked about this in this Q&A live stream, and he said that the educational videos have the priority of, well, education as the most prominent thing, with their canonicity being a second thought. Alan says that these are probably dreams that the stick figures have had, but if he can later figure out a way for them to fit in the timeline and make sense and are canon, then he might do so. And I feel like that kind of helps my argument. If Alan is thinking of potentially making these videos canon that literally prioritize education first, and the stick figures are literally in the void, not on Alan's PC, if Alan is thinking about ways to make that canon, I feel like all the other ones that literally show the sticking on his PC are, you know, canon. Well, except for the Team Blank videos. Those also seem to be a dream by the sticking. So yeah, that's all my evidence. Whew, just finished recording that all up. Wait, what's this clip right here?
Is AVA and AVM in the same universe? And if so, which happened first?
Yes, same universe. They just happen offset from each other. I mean, they just happen one after another.
Oh my word. Well, at least it's been 100% confirmed. And hey, maybe check out this video with the comment section that led to me making this video. It goes over an anomaly I found in the timeline, but it's just one anomaly. AVA and AVM still work together. Check out my full recap if you want to see the order. Subscribe, maybe.